Alright, going live. Yes. Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to Kitten, Mr. Growls. Go ahead and check. Make sure you are golden, ready to go. You should correctly. And we are good to go. Then hello, good evening. So glad that you are here. My patrons that are here watching us today, John, Mr. Growls, my kitten here, Rascal here. We're gonna, I think I'm early. Am I early? People are like, yeah, I'm a minute early. That's why no one is here yet. Why? Because I'm never early. All right. Can I pull the mic a little closer? I mean, do you want it between my cleavage? She wants it between my cleavage. I do. She wants it between my cleavage. There you go. Boob mic time. We're not even a minute in and we're being inappropriate. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. My goodness gracious. Shy is here. Sweet Tea is here. I'm so glad that you all are here. Now, if you give me just a moment. Well, actually, do you have ETA on the delivery? Can't see or hear me? Oh, no. Oh, no. Live streaming. YouTube. It says I'm good. And I'm live. And I've got like 23 peeps watching right now, Graham. Is anyone else getting any weird issues? Did I do it correctly? I set the YouTube thing up all by myself. Oh, no. You can see and hear? What can you see and hear me on YouTube? 20 minutes or so for Happy Juicy. You can see and hear me just fine on the server. Wonderful. What about YouTube? Hello, Sweet Tea. Graham says he can't see me on YouTube. Yes, YouTube can see and hear. Graham is just starting conspiracy theories. Graham, can't do that to me. Can't do that to me. I gave you an extra 2 minutes, Graham. I started early. Now that I moved the mic just wanted to be near my bosom. It's all right. I don't blame the mic. All right. I can hear you now. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Also, fellow daydreamer has arrived since we were trying to place the microphone. Who else? We have Runner's Knee, Rascal, Sweet Tea, Shy. I've already said hi to you. I will say hi to you again. Hello, my wonderful, beautiful patrons. I love all of you so, so very much. Have I told you that lately? Can I just stop and have just like a sweet, I love my community. Thank you so much for all of your love and support moment. Especially me taking the weekend off to rest and recuperate. As you can see, I'm totally fine. You brought sushi, wine, and a sassy attitude. Ooh, hello. Nice to see you. YouTube is fine for you too. Okay. So I just want to say thank you all so much, especially those of you who support this work on a monthly basis, those of you who are my patrons, those of you who are connecting with me, my community right now. I have the best community ever. I have the most wonderful, amazing, supportive community ever. So all of my patrons that support this work, thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you that are on YouTube that consume this content, your relationships are changing for the better. Your lives are changing for the better. Your leadership is changing for the better. Your dominance is changing for the better. Your submissive is changing for the better. Your submission is changing for the better. Say thank you on a comment on a video to my patrons. They are the reason why you get all of this content that you get. I could not do this without their support. So thank you so much, my patrons. Not just that, thank you so much, all of you in this community. YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, my website, wherever you are. Thank you so much for your love and support last weekend as I rested and let my body just do what it does best. Heal and recover. And thank you all so much. As you can see, like I said, I'm totally fine. But I so appreciated all of love, support, the prayers, the well wishes. I love you. Thank you. I'm done being sappy because we have got some shit to dig into today. But before we do, I have something to share with you. I received a very beautiful gift from my very beautiful, and it is going to be our new co-host. So you're gonna have to help me name it. Our new co-host for our Q&As. Are you ready? This was sent to me. I did not buy this. I am not a narcissist. This was bought for me by my community. Are you ready? Go. Everyone, see the Miss LX gavel. Come on now. Come on now. Boys, you're DMing me. I'm not going to check my DMs right now, boys. I'm not going to check my DMs probably for the rest of the night. So if the two of you who have just DM'd me, who are right here live in the chat, if you would question your actions and maybe rethink the DMs if you would like me to respond to you today. Okay, because I'm gonna chill and rest after our live tonight, and I'm not gonna open my DMs, especially right now. I'm gonna have a gavel in my hand. So let's not fuck around now. That's what she said. It is the best. It's the best. Welcome to my gavel. Order! Well, see, my new thing is it is decided. And so, like, I have this in the kitchen. And so it's like, we're having salads and potatoes for dinner. The matter is decided. You know? Any reason, any excuse to add a little drama into your day, just go ahead and embrace it. Good drama, positive, happy drama. Positive, happy, fun drama. Being dramatic, playing, playfulness is what I'm saying. The gavel is when I start the timer. And commence. All right. Don't beat the shit out of your microphone on the way down. No one tell Mr. B about that. Okay. So, we're just going to put that down over there. I'm so glad you get so much use out of it. I will get so much use out of this. You know what I have to do? I have to turn my chair because I want to face you head on. Close and personal with myself. All right. So, yes, this is better. This is better. So, we got some questions tonight. Chat, are you ready? And actually, the first two questions were massive conversations that have taken place here on Discord over the last couple of weeks. So meaty. Are we ready? We're ready. Ready. Okay. So, one of our dear friends, Hammer Time. Da-na-na-na. Anyway, one of our friends, CNLG, that's, I don't believe their birth name, so I think I can say it. We got into a conversation because it was very public on our Discord. This massive conversation where it's too much to read for you all on YouTube. So if you would like the details, if you would like to engage with us on an everyday basis, go over to patreon.com/LXerotica, sign up, and you can chat with us and be a part of these conversations behind the scenes that inspire so much of the content for the Q&As. But this was one of the conversations, and it was so long, but it was like I had to go back and really take my time going. And those of you who are my patrons know the conversation that we're talking about. And I'm going to go through with some key points from the conversation to get you all kind of caught up on the context. And then I want to share my insights because they're layered and they're a little different than what we were talking about on Discord. And for those of you who are part of the conversation, that should pique your interest a little bit. So, first of all, this is a new dominant who is reaching out. He has a more experienced submissive, and he quantifies her as a bratty sub. And here are some of the ways that he describes her and the dynamic. He says that everything is perfect when they are together, but she gets bored or disinterested with distance punishments. She doesn't lose. She can outlast me. She has more willpower than me. She is a top until you break her. She has no physical or mental limits. She does submit. She does chores. She follows orders, but her limits thinking experience is way ahead of mine. She's making me work my way up nicely. She always makes me raise up, do more, do worse, etc. She will never allow me to top without earning it, and this will reset within minutes. Okay, so do we have a vague idea of the content? Again, this conversation was way too in-depth to go into it here, but do we have essentially the gist of it? Okay. I know that yep. When my kitten just typed yep, you could pronounce it to the third P. She was pushing it so hard. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, sassy pants? This one gets her fired up. I'm not wrong. 3, 2, 1. No, I'm not wrong. Bam. All right. So you feel sassy about it too? I know. It's a lot. It is a lot. And the consensus amongst my community, you get feisty. Yeah, a lot of people got really feisty over it, and rightfully so. And the consensus was, she is topping from the bottom. She is topping from the bottom. Get a new submissive. She does not respect you. Do not play with her. Do not engage with her. And I even chimed in and I said, she does not respect. And I think all of that is partially correct. But I think in going back over it, I saw a few patterns. No, I like to hone in on patterns. So if you want to look at some patterns with me, see if we can dig in this together a little bit. But I think once I start pointing out these patterns, Mama likes her patterns don't lie. Patterns do not lie. And when you have been mind-fucked and manipulated and coerced for so long and you have been so confused, you need a reference point. Patterns don't lie. That saved my life, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So yes, I like my patterns. Patterns don't lie. Patterns will show you the truth that even you may not want to see. Patterns don't lie. So let's look at some patterns. Number one, and the most important thing that stood out to me, twofold. Number one, he kept insisting that she respected him and that she was submissive. So that to me, even though we were like puffy, that to me says he doesn't feel disrespected or attacked. And that's important to note. It's important to note. So let's pin that one. Keep that one in our context. The second point that I saw here was he said everything is perfect when we're together. And there were other times where he said things similar to that. When we're together physically, the issues that I'm communicating are irrelevant. So that was very telling. When we're together, everything is perfect. Then he shifts it. He says, but she gets bored or disinterested with distance punishments. And really, this whole conversation was centric around punishments. And that was a huge tell to me too. So we're gonna get into all of this. So do we see the juxtaposition right off of the bat? Everything is perfect when we're together. Yet when there's distance, things start shifting for the negative. And she starts bratting. Oh, I don't have enough wine for this already. No, we want you to be sober right now. It's okay. So what I'm seeing here, and try to track with me. I'm going to try to go slow. But what I'm seeing here is a similar theme that we talked about months ago in a Q&A about bratting. How my submissive and I, through conversation and observation and watching patterns through the years, have kind of come to the conclusion that bratting, chronic bratting, not playful poke bratting to like volley some energy. We're talking chronic bratting, will not yield, will not submit. That is actually an indicator of unmet need. Okay? So if we're looking at this going, okay, he doesn't feel attacked or disrespected. So that's not probably her energy or motivation to belittle, to demean, to undermine, to degrade. And he says everything is wonderful, perfect, actually, when they're together. It's only when the distance happens. And then there is a need for punishment. What does that mean? The bratting increases when there's distance. Why is there chronic bratting? Unmet needs. So what does that tell me? That one of this girl's love languages is physical touch, and when she doesn't get it, she starts acting out. Anyone tracking with me so far? And that's why, to me, it's so important that you need to know your submissive love languages. Okay, so if she's chronically bratting and pushing back, behavior as communication so far. So I'm thinking, and this is what I see, if physical touch is her primary love language, then physical acts of dominance and sexual acts of dominance will probably get her to yield very quickly. Neither of those tools are available to our newbie dominant from a distance. And that is one of the first problems. Okay? With that being said, my second observation here is a few comments that he made were showing me another pattern. He goes, she does submit, she does chores, she follows orders. Okay. So she's not pushing back to be disobedient. We put a pin in that one, okay? So then he's saying her limits, her thinking, and her experience is way ahead of him. Okay? He goes on to say, she is making me work my way up. And then he says, nicely. Okay, again, she's not trying to be disrespectful. She's not trying to be vindictive, okay? He goes on to say, she always makes me raise up, do more, do worse. She will never allow me to top without earning it, and this will reset within a few minutes. Now, that last part I'll get to as a side point. But all of that tells me something it shows me something very obvious, but I don't think that this guy is seeing it. My friend, if you're watching this, hope you're watching this. What that shows me is, drumroll, she does not look at what she's doing as topping from the bottom. She is looking at this as, I have a newbie dom. I know what he doesn't know, and I'm trying to help him be a good dominant. I'm trying to teach him. Her mentality at this point is not, I am submissive to a dominant. Her mentality at this point is, I can obey a top, but if the top doesn't know what he's doing, I'm going to help him learn what he's doing. Do you see? She does not view this as a dom sub. She views this as she is the teacher and he is the student. And she can't help herself because she has so much more experience. So yes, we see it as topping from the bottom. But that's not what she's doing. Do we see? I know. Once you see it, you're like, wait a minute. And that makes all the difference here. She genuinely, and that's why I was saying, just off of a first glance, I was saying, she doesn't respect you. And that's true. She doesn't. She wants to. But she doesn't respect you right now. So yes, and if she's been with a good dominant in the past, you better believe this girl has willpower. You better believe this girl has patience. You better believe this girl can endure and can wait. You better believe this girl is mindful. You better believe if the girl has this much more experience and it was with a good dominant, you better know that she's going to value that submission and she's going to make you earn it and she's going to make you work for it. She's going to make sure that she can trust you with her submission. That's what I see. And that's why when they're together, it's not that she wants to be combative. He knows how to dominate her energetically, physically, and sexually. But when there's distance, that doesn't happen. So he feels out of control. She tops more because she's trying to help, because she genuinely wants to be submissive to him, but she sees all of the areas that he doesn't know yet. And she's probably an alpha subtype. She's a bratty sub. That's what he's calling it. To me, this sounds more like an alpha subtype. Rascal, I'm getting to your question. Be patient, my friend. Don't try to cross the bridge before me. I will get to your question. Rascal. Rascal being a rascal right now. I see you. I have this whole page of notes just for this first question. Rascal, yours is next, child, okay? Trust me. Trust me. All right? I won't fail you. So basically a coach type of sub dynamic. Join your support group. Thank you. See? Order! Order! Rascal! Wait your turn. I need to make this more accessible over here. I just don't want to hit Mr. B's microphone again. That's what she said. Okay, so that's what I see. She knows what he doesn't know and is viewing him not as her dom, but as her student, really. And here's the thing. We pointed this out. Oh, don't face palm. You knew that you got the that's what she said jokes when you got me. All right? You would miss. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, by the way, Natalia, hi, baby. I'm so glad you're here. So here's the thing. We were also identifying, and all of you were so wise and so insightful in my chat here when we were talking to our friend. All of you were really delineating, okay, there's not respect here, and there's a difference between submission and obedience. You can obey what your boss tells you to do, but are you surrendered and submissive to them? Not usually. Unless you're just a natural subtype. Not in my experience. So, one of the things that you all were showing our friends here was there's a difference between obedience and submission. And I think that plays a key role in this answer, and this is what I wrote. She's obedient because she wants the dynamic. She does. She wants this dynamic. But she isn't submissive because she doesn't yet respect you or your dominance. I'm sorry, I love you, but that's the truth of it. She wants this dynamic, and that's why this boy is saying, she's respectful, she's submissive, she's obedient, she does what I ask. This was the missing puzzle. She's obedient because, yes, she's like, yes, see, when you're dominant, see what a good submissive I can be? But when you're not dominant, I'm not going to tolerate it. When you're not dominant, I need you to be more dominant. If you want to be my dominant, then yes, be my dominant. That's kind of the energy that I get from this girl as a sexual switch, as when I am even in a submissive space, it's very much a alpha submissive space. Big surprise there, I'm sure. But I can relate to this mentality. And I'm not saying our new be dominant here is toxic or abusive in any way. He doesn't sound like it. He just sounds very new. And that's perfectly fine. In my situation, I was a submissive. The dominant that I was under was very, 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 very abusive. I did not respect this guy. I did not trust this guy. And there was a lot of fear. And that fear and that lack of trust, that lack of assurance, that lack of respect caused me to push back and test and make him work for it and make him earn it. Why? I didn't really trust that he knew what he was doing. And that's the same thing I get here. He's having trouble keeping up with it. And so I think the strategy is you be dominant. Maybe bring this up in conversation to your submissive and make her aware of this insight. Like, hey, you don't view me as your dominant right now. You view me as your student. And that's fine. But we're going to need to adjust things. And maybe you as the new dominant need to delineate that. And maybe this is the first area and the wisest area for you to take territory is you draw the line. You say, look, woman, when I want your advice, when I want your instruction, when I want your feedback, I will ask you, my submissive, for it. Until then, you shut your mouth. When I want your feedback, I will ask for it. And you set that line. And that's the first way that you can take territory back here, is you set that line. Yes, if you want her help, and if you want her guidance, and if you want her insight, absolutely. But you draw that line. And if she just tries to give you this advice, just flippantly, then you shut it down. If you're in her presence, you grab her face, you whatever, and you shut it down. If you're not in her presence, then you can virtually gag her too. Okay? You can virtually shut it down. You can virtually stop it, put it to an end. And you can administer, happens to me all the time. You called yourself out on that one. Not even me. That was not even me. I said nothing there. She's honest. I love an honest submissive. I love an unabashedly honest submissive. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Just backing up your point. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. So, but look at it from her perspective. And Rascal, this is tying into your question. Look at it from her perspective. If she is looking for more dominance from you because she doesn't actually trust that you know how to take authority, then take authority when she doesn't fucking expect it. Take authority, take territory in the way she is trying to exert herself. And it isn't that this is a bad thing. She wants you to learn. And that's what I'm saying. If she's a good teacher and you are learning things from her, great. But you control when you get that feedback and how you get that. All right? iPhone isn't key. That's okay. That's okay. I also think you're going down a wrong path here, my friend. Our friend here had a conversation with his girl. Mine is too. Mine now says, by default, if I type a web address, it says .dom instead of .com. Welcome to your life as a femdom, as a BDSM educator. Every website is .dom. Just, I can't, I will screenshot it and show you all. It's the most annoying bullshit. Anyway, so, my friend, you were saying, after you had this conversation, it's true. I'm always trying to say yes, because you are 90% of the time. That's just anytime, yes. Anytime you start any sentence with a Y, from here on out, that's what it's going to think. Yep. I don't mind that at all. That's brilliant. I know, right? Okay. So I want to address this final point before we go on to Rascal's question. After our friend had that conversation with his girl, did you see what he was saying when he came back? And I love you, my friend. If you're watching this, I'm not getting on your case because I'm trying to get on your case. I'm not trying to condemn you. I'm not trying to shut you down. I want you to be the best, most effective dominant you can be. I want you to have the best, most vibrant dynamic that you can have. And after your conversation with your girl, came back the next day and you said, I wanted to make sure to be a, quote, pain in the ass for punishment. The wrong mentality, my friend. She's not looking for solely aggression. And if you think you being cold, you being more cold, you being more distant, you being more aggressive is going to achieve what she's looking for, you are wrong. You are wrong. What she's looking for is authority. What she's looking for is you to take territory. You don't need to be beating your chest, yelling and screaming, being aggressive, being a narcissistic pain in the ass to take territory. A lion doesn't have to tell you it's a lion. A lion is like, hey, I want it. I'm going to go get it. And you know what? It's the lionesses that are the huntresses, right? Fun fact. Did I get that wrong? I believe it's the lionesses. Need to please? What? If that's an acronym for something that I should know. See, Shy has children. She's on it with animal knowledge and probably geography knowledge. Probably, what was my cousin into? My little cousin went through a phase of loving everything, every automobile, every truck. He loved the dump trucks and all of that kind of stuff. I bet you have some just knowledge across the board because you have children that you must keep interested because you are a wonderful mother. Okay, so, true. Okay, Mr. just gives you the look and you pee yourself. There you go. That's what you want. Okay, generally treat the lioness and hunts while the lion protects pride. Okay. Lots of random. Okay, so the point, where was I even going with this? I got us so distracted on my lion comment. But anyway, you don't have to be cold. You don't have to be a pain in the ass. You don't have to be a narcissist. You don't have to be aggressive and shout and scream. Oh my goodness. I believe that's the happy juice. I believe that's the happy juice. Hold on. I got to shut down my kid and grab some happy juice. Okay. Children, the cutest little subbiest boy just delivered this to me. Oh my god. Okay. I might need to get me my house cleaned soon. Special delivery. If he had a collar on, I just would have grabbed it and be like, kitchen. After getting very informed, non-coerced consent. Order! Order in the court. Okay. So, you don't have to be a pain in the ass to take territory. A lion doesn't have to tell you it's a lion. Just fucking be a lion. Take territory. And if you feel like she is more creative, quicker on her feet, then slow those feet down. Slow the feet down. Slow the tongue down. Slow the brain down. And you can do it. You have the power to do it. And I think the first most important step for you is, like we just said, tell her, you are my superior. You are not. I appreciate your input when I want to. And I will not be hearing it from here on out unless I specifically ask, do you understand? And you start taking your power back, your territory back, your authority back, and things will shift. What do you all think? Do you think you just peed yourself? Yes, do that. Well, good. Well, we might have to take a break while my kitten cleans up her mess. Can't stay long, everyone, as you're in transit, and I'll go, you're scared. Lucy, I'll just y'all wonder what. Okay, Natalia, we love you. Thank you so much for letting us know you're scared. But see, was I like in your face aggressive? Was I cold and narcissistic? No. It's scarier when you're not, and that's the thing. You're calm, control, and you can't be moved. That's power. When you have to be emotional to be confrontational, you don't have power, you have emotion. And your emotions are controlling your choices. Your emotions are controlling your boundaries. Your emotions are controlling the space that you take up, not the other way around. Your emotions make excellent slaves, terrible masters. Do not ever put your emotions in control. Attentive and powerful. This seems like wonderful advice. I hope he will give it a go. I hope he'll give it a go too. But that brings us to our next question here from Rascal. Rascal who tried to be a rascal and cross the content bridge before me. Mr. is asking if it's better to be super calm or use a lower voice and be more assertive. Who, me? We definitely have a switch on our hands. Mr. is asking if it's better to be super calm or use a lower voice and be more assertive. It depends on the situation. It depends on the context. I think it's always fun to do something different than what your submissive genuinely you to do. So if you are typically super calm and you feel like that's losing effect, then maybe you get a little closer and you lower your voice. Grab them a bit. Just hold them for a second. Maybe you don't even say anything. You know what I mean? You go with the energy. And honestly, I think dominance, you get too much in your head. Especially you femdoms. Girls. This is what I have to coach at. It's okay to use your emotions in your dominance. I have all kinds of styles of dominance depending on my energy, my mood, whatever. I think one of the scariest things is when a dom gets that smile. Like, oh, oh yeah? You think that that's going to work? You think you got away with it? Oh, it's so cute. You're going to need a strap a bucket. My pleasure. I got your back anytime. You and I both like dad jokes. We're bros, man. We're bros. I hope we're bros. I hope I can call you my bro. So, Mr. Anytime, absolutely. And honestly, you're kicking ass already. I mean, you have a fantastic submissive who very, very much respects you. Very much respects you. Very much honors. He says big yes. Okay. So, kitten. Yes. Wait, I think Honest has that smile in the last photo shoot a few times. Yeah. My kitten knows how to cue my devious smiles. She would be like, okay, just picture that a beta just walked in and did this. Hard to keep the camera still when your hands are shaking. Whatever. I don't think that you had a problem. I thought you were totally enjoying yourself and totally like vibing. I thought we were totally like vibing on our photo shoots. I didn't feel like she was shaking in her boots. I felt like I just like, girl, I release you to have all the fun and creativity that you want. But some of those looks. Well, you were the good storyteller. He was a great photographer. I love photographers that know how to get my emotions to the surface I love that. Okay, gotta get a 600 back. Okay. So I promised Rascal, let's not get us so distracted because then Rascal will try to top from the bottom again. I love you, Rascal. Totally a joke. I love you. Okay. So here we go. It was a joke. He laughed. What? I can't volley back a little bit? Order in the court! Fellow Daydreamer, I love and appreciate you so much. You don't even. Okay. Is this not how you expected me to use the gavel? You all don't know me very well. 100%. Okay, Rascal. Rascal's question is so good, and I think that a lot of people have this thought, and I really want to dig into this. Rascal's question is, if someone aspires to be a dominant, should they be a submissive first? If someone aspires to be a dominant, should they be a submissive first? And we had, I need a gavel cam. Ooh, I need a Jamie cam and a gavel cam. Brilliant idea. Thank you, Sa, for your brilliance. Yes, I need a gavel cam and a Jamie cam. So, adds to list. Perfect. She's on it. So, if someone aspires to be a dominant, should they be a submissive first? The answers in Discord were pretty mixed. They were pretty split down the middle. Some people were saying that this is only for switches. This is only an effective strategy for switches, that you have to be a switch in order to be a submissive before you're a dominant, or vice versa. And then we had others that were saying, yes, you should absolutely serve, be a submissive before you are a dominant. My answer, as you may expect, has a little bit of both. I first want to start out, because I think this is the most important part of this answer, with a breakdown of what I believe very quickly, because I've done in-depth videos about qualities of excellent dominance, things like that. But very quickly, according to this question, in the context of this question, I wanted to evaluate leadership through 4 main points. And these points I feel make for really excellent. And dominance is leadership. That's all it is. Dominance is leadership. So I think the best leaders are servant leaders. And what I mean by that is, you as a leader view your leadership as an act of service. That there are people who need what I have. They're looking for my authority. They're looking for my guidance. They're looking for my advice. They're looking for my wisdom. They're looking for my mentorship. They're looking for my dominance. They're looking for my leadership. And me giving that to them, that's an act of service. I am serving a need, a deficit that they have, versus a leader looking at you as less than and beneath them and below them, and as someone they can have full control over and do whatever they wish to. There's a mentality. So I believe that the best leaders are servant leaders. And I say that because, actually, I have a good story. I was part of, you're tracking with me, okay. I was part of an organization, and they wanted to basically fast track me through their leadership training to one of their higher up positions. And as part of this process, they sent me to their headquarters for the weekend to basically meet the top team, the CEO, creative director, all those guys. And it was a big deal. And these were like the top guys. And I remember we were waiting to go in, like this meeting was about to start. And we were outside of the offices. And someone had dropped, not like right there in real time, but just in like the space there, someone had dropped like a napkin, like a little crumpled up napkin, maybe with a little piece of food in it or something. And one of the guys, one of the CFs or CEOs or whatever, one of the top guys, was talking to a little group, and he caught it out of the corner of his eye. And he stopped talking to the group, and he walked over, and he picked it up, and he threw it away, and he got some hand sanitizer, and he came back, and he talked to the group. And I was watching it from a distance, and I thought, that is a leader that I am willing to listen to. Because that person does not see themselves as up here and me down here. They are not above serving. They're not above helping. They're not above bending down, stooping down, and getting low themselves. There's a humility there. And that is crucial for me as part of this answer especially. So for me, I think yes, the best dominants know what it feels like to serve. The best dominants know what it feels like to be humble. The best dominants know what goes on in the heart and the mind of someone who is lowly and looking up to someone else. You know that. You have empathy for that. And ideally, you do have some sort of experience. Now, the caveat to this is you wish some of your bosses like that. And that's the thing. That, case in point, Natalia is saying, I wish some of my bosses were like that. Okay, we all want leaders like that. We want to follow leaders like that because those are safe leaders. Those are the leaders who will empower you, not take advantage of you. And we don't have a lot of great, excellent leaders who genuinely care, genuinely want to serve. My best bosses were like that. My boss is like that. He's phenomenal. See, you all are proving what I'm saying here. So, and if you know they care for you, you'll run through a wall for them. Exactly. When you know that you are seen, you are invested in, someone cares about you, absolutely, that's where devotion is found. So yes, I do feel like to be the most excellent dominant possible, you are humble. You have a heart of a servant. You understand that when I'm serving, when I'm leading my when I'm leading my submissive, my dominance is an act of service. And it truly is. That's how I view my dominance. And this is not to pat myself on the back. This is because I know that it helps my submissive when I guide her, when I lead her, when I mentor her, when I help her, when I support her, when I set boundaries for her, when I tell her no to things, when I tell her yes to things. All of these, it's serving needs that she had. And it is a sacrifice for me. The sacrifice of my mental space. It's a sacrifice of my mental space. It's a sacrifice of my creativity. It's a sacrifice of my time. It's an act of service. My dominance is an act of service. That's why I say dominance and submission are both service roles with a different appearance, a different manifestation. This is no different. So yes, I do believe the best dominants are humble and can serve and have had that experience. The caveat is if you are not a switch in a lifestyle context, I don't advise you to ever push yourself into a role that you do not totally comfortable and confident in, even if it's just to achieve experience. It's not going to work out as you think it is. When I'm a sub, when it's time for me to switch to a dom, then I will have a great emotional mental foundation to work from. And that's how I started out. I was a 24/7 submissive for years. And I know from the bottom side, the demand, the vulnerability that's required, the intimacy that's demanded of you. I know how that feels. And so it helps me temper my expectations as a dominant because I have really high expectations. I have incredibly high expectations for myself, for my partner, for my business, for my platform, for everything, for my submissive, for anyone involved in my community that wants to help, that wants to be an admin or a support role or administrate in some way for me. You better know my standards are really fucking high. And so me having that experience as a submissive, it really helps me temper my expectations. Yes, you do. Sorry, John. It really helps me temper my expectations so that I can step back and go, okay, I'm being an Enneagram 8 dominant right now who wants to take over the world. Calm down. She's only human. It's okay. So that to me is big because I know that that is it could be a very quick downfall of mine, this dynamic. So that really helps temper it. But what I was saying about being a switch is you don't have to be a submissive in the lifestyle to serve. So if you are dominant, and you only want a dom, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If you have no desire to be a submissive to someone else, you have no desire to yield that much of your territory to someone else, that is totally fine. But you do not have to be a submissive in the lifestyle in order to serve. There are people everywhere around you that need help. There are people all around you that could use an extra pair of hands. There are organizations everywhere that could use an extra pair of hands. You could go volunteer at a soup kitchen and talk to people and give them dignity and hope and ask them what their name is and what their dreams are when no one else in the world cares for them. You can go and serve cleaning something for someone who can't do it themselves. Go get some groceries for someone who just had surgery or is sick. Like, you do not have to be a submissive in the lifestyle to serve. And so I feel very much like find a place to have an experience to serve so that you know what it feels like to not be in control, to have someone else calling the shots and telling you what to wear and telling you what to do and telling you where to go. And you have to yield your ego to that. As a dominant, that's hard. That's hard. And a lot of us doms will kind of run away from that. I don't want, especially as Enneagram 8 doms. But it's necessary to maintain that humility. Because yes, I do feel like empathy allows you to have deep levels of discernment. When you have deep levels of discernment for your submissive and what's going on in your dynamic, you will only be able to operate with more data and more wisdom and have more foresight and insight into what you need to do. Very helpful. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I was able to answer your question, Rascal. Fellow daydreamer, do you feel disrespected if your submissive approaches you and communicates that she thinks you're expecting too much? Oh, that would be my response to her. That would be my response to her. I would just laugh. That's so funny. That's such a funny thought. So, no, build a bridge and get the fuck over it. Yeah, my expectations are intense. But I will never, ever ask my submissive to do something she is incapable of. Therefore, if I ask it of you, you are capable of doing it. Therefore, I expect obedience. Period. I will never set you up for failure. I will always, ever, only set you up for success. So if I ask you to do something, I know you didn't say this. I know you didn't say this. Then don't look at the camera right now. I'm just saying, if I ask you to do something as my submissive, and this is the mentality I had as a personal trainer too. Feel the intensity? This is the exact mentality I had as a personal trainer. I had this conversation with my personal training clients because they whine and cry and I don't want it. It's so hard. I can't. And I hate that. I know your physical limits better than you. My personal training clients, I'm the one with the qualifications here. I'm the one doing your measurements. I'm the one doing your fitnesses. I'm the one watching your body. I'm the one who specializes in kinesiology. I'm the one who can see all this shit about you. I'm the one who's been trained to do this. Yes, you can. I am here to set you up for success. I am not here to set you up for failure. Therefore, if I ask you to do it, you can do it. It is possible of you to do it. It might not be easy. It might not be enjoyable. I don't really give a shit. Because if everything I ask you to do is easy or enjoyable, and that's the only way you can obey, that's the only way you can submit, you are not submitted. You are operating out of selfishness and you are getting exactly what you want. That is not submission. So, no, I would laugh in her face. I would laugh in her face and say, okay, sorry you feel that way. And I look forward to seeing your rituals again tomorrow. Now, this is not to say you do not help out your submissive nods. Now, this is not to say that when your submissive is struggling, you don't help them. Big difference. Big difference. When my submissive is coming to me, genuinely trying, but struggling, that is something I will respond. That is something I will respond to. And she is trying. And she's doing it. And she's doing the best that she can. But she is struggling. And I'm seeing something happen here. That's something I'm going to address. And I'm going to get to the root of it. And a lot of times, it's not disobedience for disobedience sake. Most of the time, it's not. The majority of the time, it's not. The majority of the time, it's not even mindlessness. It's some other something in her heart, in her mind, is going on, and it's affecting how she's viewing things. It's affecting her energy. It's just affecting her perspective, her paradigm. And I will absolutely jump in and absolutely help you. But the conversation is different. The conversation is, I want to serve you. I want to please you. I'm not complaining. I'm just struggling. Will you help me? Versus, you ask this of me. This is too much. I don't think I can do this. Your expectations. You see the difference in mentality. And fellow daydreamer, I was not saying that you had the second mentality. I wasn't trying to quote you on that. That's just how I look at it. Not setting your sub up for failure is so key. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want her to fail. I want her to feel good about herself, because the more successful she is in her submission to me, the more it's going to incentivize more. She's going to do something. She's going to get rewarded. It's going to be a positive experience. It's going to build confidence. She's going to want to do it again. That's the pattern that I want. So no. And I want her to face hard things. And I want her to go through hard things. That she realizes that I have her back, number one. And that she has some of my strength and some of my power that she can rely on for support. But at the same time, I want her to know that she has territory that she can take out in the world. And that doesn't encroach on my space. It doesn't encroach on my territory. It doesn't encroach on my power. She needs to be able to stand up for herself and not be bullied and not be threatened and not be intimidated. I want her to be able to confront things and not just, be steamrolled over out in the world when I'm not there. So yeah, I will ask her to do hard things. I will ask her to do things that will make her face some shit and dig deep. But it's so she can do it with me in a safe context, so she can go out there, all of this bullshit out in the world, and feel like she has a semblance of power. That's my goal. That's my motivation. Do I periodically tell her how much she's grown? I would like to think that I do. Kitten, do I tell you? Do I praise your growth often enough? All the time. Okay. Woo! And to me, that's key. When someone is doing something that pleases you, that's something to validate, something to notify the person, hey, this was a good thing. I would like you to keep doing it. Especially lately when you've been feeling super weak. Well, let me just stop here. You had a major kick-ass badass the other day. Can everyone just take a moment and give my kitten a little round of applause in the chat? Because yes, she has been going through it lately, and we dealt with it. We absolutely just attacked it the other day together, and she has had some major amazing breakthroughs since then, and she is doing so good, so awesome. So yes, making sure that in the midst of hard things, people feel empowered to do it, that's the key. We can't avoid hard things. I mean, it'll just exacerbate the situation. I tweeted this the other day. Go follow me. Twitter.com/LXerotica. Nugget of wisdom. Almost every day. And however many characters or less. All right. My pleasure, my dear. Empowered women empowering women. Absolutely. Twitter.dom. I object. Twitter.dom. You want chicky nuggies. So I make you feel all soft and squishy on the inside. She instantly turns little and wants chicken nuggets, which are not as in part of her food eating plan. Nuggets of wisdom, not chicky nuggies. I don't buy it. I think that was just her trying to do a clever save. Pivot. See? Both? I think both. I think both, Shy. I think you're right. All right. What's our time here? Has anyone been tracking my time? Kitten, I'm looking at you. How long have we been going? It's an hour in 10 minutes. It's an hour in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, we will have been doing this for 1 hour. So you think we could possibly say 50 minutes? You've been going for 50 minutes? It's an hour in 10 minutes. Great. So that makes it 50 minutes. Okay. We also work on our communication. Okay. Should we try to get through one more before we have to go? You have your paws on? And what else? If you really want to go down that path, we can go down that path. You want to go down that path? No? Uh-huh. Okay. So we want one more. Let's do another question. Another after party. Oh, yeah. So this has become a thing. The Discord after party. Because I'm still streaming on Discord after we cut from here on YouTube. So if you want extra content, extra time, another after party. And last after party, we cannot discuss. So if you want to know what happened, you have to join. Sorry, I literally can't say it. Can't speak it here on YouTube. We do all kinds of fun, especially to my kitten, when she has certain items in her mouth that make it difficult for her to enunciate. And then we maybe just do 20 minutes of tongue twisters. As in she says them. And we Google them. And it's good fun. No getting banned. No getting. We do that private. The only ban hammer that shall be waved is. She's very good at tongue. You know, it surprised me, but she is a singer and she has a theater background. So when we put it in that context, she's had practice. She knows most of the tongue twisters because she had to do them before she went on stage or sang. She had an unfair advantage. Okay, let's do one more question. Okay, we might have to do two. Just real quick. Rapid fire round. We need harder ones. We'll have to come up with new. Yeah. Takes down names. It's okay, everyone. I'll make her burn the list. It's fine. Okay, so. Okay, this question has come up like twice, and to me, it's just so. Once I read you the question, you'll know why I'm just like, we just have to talk about it. And it's come in twice, I believe, from the same person. And they said it more adamantly the second time because I didn't get around to asking or to answering it on the last live. So you're learning a nice little lesson in patience. And the question is, why do you think DS is the natural dynamic? What are the facts behind this opinion? Why do you think DS is the natural dynamic, and what are the facts behind this opinion? What are the facts behind this opinion? That's my favorite part. Okay, and I'm not dissing the fact that you want facts. I want facts. Okay. I am. Okay, so here's the thing. Why do I think DS is the natural dynamic? And what facts would you like? Okay. Essentially, you are telling me to go up to an apple tree, see that it's an apple tree, and then give you facts as to why I believe it's an apple tree. It's a fucking apple tree. That's why I believe it's an apple tree. Okay? My point is, it's self-evident. The fact that it has apples hanging out. Okay, hello. So, what I'm trying to say here is the fact that DS is, and actually you misconstrued what I was trying to say. DS is everyone is naturally dominant or naturally submissive. Now, as far as DS being the most natural dynamic, it is the most functional. And yes, natural in terms of the fact that everyone is either naturally dominant, naturally submissive, or naturally a switch. Case in point. Do you have bosses and do you have people that work for the boss? Mm-hmm. Do you have leaders of companies and their employees? We have leaders, we have followers, we have teachers, we have students, we have mentors, we have people who are mentored. Okay? Get two subs together and watch how well that goes. And fellow daydreamer is leading into my next point so beautifully, which is one of the reasons why DS is the most ideal and naturally functional relational dynamic is just like fellow daydreamer is saying. If you have two submissive partners together, the relationship will often breed a lot of complacency. There will be a lot of stagnation in areas of that relationship because both partners are essentially waiting on the other to take the initiative for forward growth or movement in any of these areas. Versus if you have two dominant partners in a relationship together, then they will often be butting heads and not be very united in the vision going forward because they're both trying to adhere to their own agenda. Again, that's why humility is so very, very important as a top or as a bottom. So that's what fellow daydreamer is saying. The most naturally functional dynamic is a leader and a follower. Someone that says, here's where we're going to go. And someone says, yes, I want to follow you. That is like the friend who always knows what they want to do. Exactly. You've probably experienced this in your friend circles too. There's the friend that's just like, hey, I'm down for anything. and the friend that shows up with an itinerary and hand sanitizer and extra snacks and waters in their purse. Okay? You have the friend that's fiscally responsible, that's always picking up the tab for the other friends. And you might have the friend that's, I don't really care and whatever. And, again, we have a more submissive, laid back mentality. We have a more dominant and a flashlight with them too. Exactly. I had a friendship like that. It worked out great. Exactly. That's my point. The facts to support my belief that DS is the most naturally functional relational dynamic is self-evident. Look at relationship. You might really be a switch after all. And think about it. And this also applies to switches. And thank you, John, for bringing us into this. This natural observation, this natural personality structure very much includes switches too. Why do you think femdom is such a thing? We have oftentimes, and this is not always the case, but we have oftentimes men who are high performers at work. Most of my male clients, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when I was a professional femdom, were much older than me, much high earners than me, a lot of influence, a lot of power, and they were so exhausted with the weight and responsibility. They wanted to give all that power and authority up to me for a while. That's all the time. You can't tell me that's anything but a switch. It's self-evident. Why I believe DS is the most naturally functional relationship structure is the fact that everyone is either dominant and submissive or switch is self-evident. That's what your dom told me too. Because it's true. Now, I did have submissive clients that were genuinely submissive. Most were switches. And I believe this is also why there's a problem with a lot of men trying to figure out, do they want a pro-dom or a relationship? Is a lot of times truly submissive men don't want just a pro-dom because they're looking for more guidance in every area of their life. So the professional structure is unfulfilling and vice versa. That's why dominant men or dominant switch men aren't often looking for a fully dominant woman to have a personal relationship with. Is they still have that switch side. They still have that. I have that power. I have that authority. And that's why the lines get blurred a lot of times. I see that confusion. And that's why I think awareness for men is so, so important. If men, you get tired, you want to switch, I understand that. I am the same way. And that's why I love being a sexual switch is that is my territory to just let go. I don't feel like my authority, my power, my territory is being ever encroached on. I don't ever feel like my partner is trying to dominate me or control me or even like guide me every day. Like if I need his advice or his help or his insight, he will absolutely give it to me, but he's not the one going, what did you do? What about this? He's not the one doing. So that is my switch point, and it's beautiful for me to just release in that area. So the principle that DS naturally exists in every relationship, whether or not you want to admit it, is true. It's self-evident. The only difference between vanilla and kink is those of us in the lifestyle have acknowledged what we are. We've acknowledged I'm dominant, I'm submissive, I'm a switch. We have acknowledged what our partner is, dominant, submissive, or switch. And we are now operating very obviously in those roles. We have brought those roles to the surface. We have infused that energy into our personalities and now into our relationship. That's the only difference. That's why I said, I tweeted this the other day too, that vanilla and kink are not enemies. They're neighbors. And there's been this like stigma from the BDSM community. Oh, they're vanilla. I'm sorry. Great sex is great sex. And if you love your partner, great sex is great sex. We shouldn't be turning our noses up at great, beautiful connection and fulfilling intimacy. Vanilla and kink are not enemies, they're neighbors. It's a bridge. I'm preaching, I Grace. I said, okay, I'm just saying. That's why it's like, I'm sorry. If your agenda is just this kink, this kink, this kink, I can't be fulfilled without this kink. I need this kink. I need my partner to fulfill this kink. No, you don't. You're selfish and probably porn addicted, and you need to calm the fuck down, start valuing your partner again, and start prioritizing connection with your partner first. And you know what? I guarantee you, when your partner stops feeling objectified by you, used by you, and they start feeling loved by you and cherished by you, and they start feeling pursued by you, you don't think they're going to be intimate with you? You don't think they're going to open up and get explorative and creative with you? So many are under the wrong impression. So many are under the wrong impression. And that's what we were talking about last weekend on my YouTube video. That's what we're going to talk about this weekend. The ACE model. How to effectively seduce your partner. You have to create the emotional connection first. You have to. If you don't create that emotional connection first, you're not going to get as far as you want in action. In whatever dominant action you want, in whatever submissive action you want. Drinks water. Why? Why? I need to drink water. Listen to my voice over here. You do it when you get pumped? Because I have nodes, okay? Anyway. I have to calm the fire down. Oh my goodness, you love the authenticity. Well, you know what? I had to spend so many years of my life forced into this quiet, subtle, shameful little submissive box. And it wasn't submissive. You all know that. It wasn't submissive. Now, no. There's nothing or no one that's going to sway me. And if you don't like it, then this is not the community for you. Bye-bye. Nothing wrong with vanilla or kink. Preference is preference. And also, I love how you phrase that. Preference is preference. It's not a need. None of you need your asses spanked in order to keep living. None of you need to be locked up in chastity and degraded in order to keep on breathing and going through life. Okay? So this narrative of, I need it, and my partner just doesn't understand my needs. No, you don't understand what a need is. Okay? You need food. You need water. You need clothing. You need shelter. You need some semblance of human interaction, as in not complete isolation all the time. Anything other than that is a desire, and it is a preference, and you need to make sure it is regulated and in the right priority. And it should never, ever, ever come before your partner. I just feel like we needed to say that one more time. So I so need your ass whipped. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you brat. And that also, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get that ass ignored completely. Clothing seems optional if you have a good shelter. This is true. This is true. But if you're petite like me, always wear fur. And good weather. The weather gets rather extreme here. I would rather have another outfit than my birthday suit. Thank you very much, John. He does have a strong right hook, though. I never punched you in the face. Next time Mr. needs something. Now, brats, I feel like you're taking this and running with it. And I am not going to be penalized by your dominance for your bratty misinterpretations. I mean, I can. I can't. You haven't seen me box. I can box. My point was, I mean, I do have a killer right hook, but my point was I did not punch her in the face. I will go to the corner now. See, don't do it. Don't do it. I used to do Thai bow, okay? Me and Billy Blanks, we are friends. Except, is it Banks or Blanks? Sorry, Billy. I'm failing, Billy! Blanks? Who else did Thai bow? Anyone else? Any other Thai bow fans in the house? Anyone else? Anyone? Anyone? I'm getting my Billy Blanks energy going on right now. No one else? No one into the Thai bow? That's all right. If you want to die early, that's fine. Good friends, Goddess Elle, and what's his face? Is your name Chumbo? Judo. I don't do judo. I would really like to learn a martial art. We're 20 minutes beyond our hour. Okay, so this is after party territory. This is basically what happened. So if you would like to continue talking with me, maybe answering a couple more questions, hang out with the peeps, then we are going to go and do that here on Discord. Thank you so much, Kitten, for reining me in. Judo, that's it? What do you all do to keep yourselves in shape and active and your bodies vibrant and healthy? Tell me in the after party, because that is our first topic of discussion. All right, YouTube, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have enjoyed the 3 questions that we got through tonight. I know we only got through 3, but they were pretty meaty. Used to do judo. Nice. Nice. You row and lift weights. I love it. So anyway, I told you children, I'm indulging you by encouraging your activities, and I'm going to stop now because I told you we're going to wait till the after party. John, stop typing. John and Shy, stop typing. We're going to go to the after party. This is why I have this. Order! Order! Typing. See, they're all so bratty now. Maybe I shouldn't indulge them with an after party if this is the kind of treatment I get. See what I have to put up with? YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with me and my wonderful, amazing, and obviously bratty community. Now see what you guys did? So, thank you all so much. I love and appreciate you. And I have a kind of funky mouse situation going on, so it might take me a minute to close down YouTube. If you would like to hum game show song to yourself, feel free to do that. You didn't do it. No, you didn't, Butterfly. There's the YouTube stream. All right, YouTube, we're going to say goodnight to you. I love and appreciate you. Thank you all for watching. And we've got another Q&A next week, I think. I haven't finished October's schedule yet, but we got a new Q&A. We got 2 new Q&As, a Kitten Bites, and a Halloween party, which we will talk more about on Discord. It's a Halloween costume party. I'm going to be showing up, from head to toe, dressed up for our Halloween party. So we're going to talk about that more. If you would like to come and join us over on Discord, feel free to do so. YouTube, I love and appreciate you. All my patrons love and appreciate you. I will connect with you, YouTube, tomorrow morning. We got a new clip for you. Patrons, I will talk to you in a minute. Good night, everyone.